Bam, skibbity bop bow. Hey everybody, welcome back to Karandrin Role Playing. My name is Kevin Manus Pennings, also known as Cracked Palantir, and I will be your host and game master for this episode 166 of Brise's Tale. And as always, my good buddy Max is here to play the beautiful and talented paladin Brise. Max, say hello to the lovely folks.
Hello, everybody. Hope you're having. Hi. I'm just not going to talk this whole stream. I hope that's okay, Kevin.
Yeah, I can see that could be the way to go, the safest safest path. So
I can't words today.
yeah. So yeah, we're back on the mountain, searching for a secret entrance into Lady Crom's castle, specifically a way into her slave quarters, trying to sort of accomplish two different goals, right? One is the rescue of a goblin family that was taken by the giants as slaves, but the other is to try to get information on a meeting that this group of giants had with a neighboring, or at least a nearby group of other giants. And we're trying to get this information for your employer, the goblin Lady Miagral, whom you serve and you have quarters with. You're sort of headquartered there at her keep. And while on the mountain searching for this entrance, you guys are trying to stay low and undetected, despite giant patrols and the considerable magic abilities of Lady Crom herself. I'll put her back up there. You have met a druid on the mountain who is also seeking the secret entrance. I get her name wrong all the time, so why don't you tell us her name?
Her name is Sheercall.
Okay, so Sheercall is one of the lizard folk from the deep, from far to the south, the nation of Sithis. The race is called the Sith. They're 6 to 7 feet high, long tails, long snouts, and you've learned that the nation basically forbids everything but temple magic, and she has left that oppressive society to become an adventurer and to more freely use her magic however she pleases. And her adventuring life has brought her to be hired by a goblin family seeking their daughter's family, who we think again was taken by the giants. Right. So the last episode, you did find out using wildlife, speaking to wildlife on the mountain via magic. You found out that you guys are close to where the entrance is hidden.
Right.
But you guys have fought for most of a day trying to make your way up the mountain to that location. And it has been just almost impossible going. And it's driven you further and further west along the mountain. So have I missed anything in that recap? Is there any highlights that I should mention?
Yeah, the bird I had a conversation with told me it was a short flight away, which, we would assume is several hours on foot through this brush. And we should said there was like a cherry tree halfway between here and there. Whether we can see that from under the trees, who knows?
Right.
We have a couple landmarks we're looking for.
Right.
And we just camped for the night because we weren't making any more progress. And we've woken and the sun is clear of the mountains. Sheercall already has a fire burning. and she offers me some tea. We left off.
So, so we're just starting in the morning, and we're trying to stay undetected, try to use magic as little as possible, and what magic we use, make it very low level. Lady Crom is a talented sorceress of some sort. She certainly seems very sensitive to magic of detection and things like that. We've seen evidence of that in the past. So you guys are trying to be very careful with your spells, and which rules out a lot of possibilities for you guys, but there's nothing you can do about that. I think you'd already eaten, right? She'd already.
Yeah, we didn't have breakfast. I guess we're talking, and I'll say, do we try to go back up the mountain and find another path, or do we continue, continue the way we're going, at an angle away from our final destination? So we're trying to go north. Is that right?
We're trying to go north and up slope. Yeah.
Right. And so west, we're going back down the mountain a little bit.
Sheer Call says, the problem with how far west we've been driven along the mountain slope is now there won't be a cherry tree, a landmark between us and we won't know we're on the right course. We would have to take possession of another animal and speak with it to try to get our bearings again. But it would be nice to go further north, further up slope before we did that. I think we should keep pressing west for a while until we can find a way up, but I'll do whatever you think is best.
Okay. Yeah, let's do that. We don't necessarily have a time limit too much.
Yeah, you have
I need to return to the keep and announce what I found, and I don't want to. I only said I'd be gone a few days, so it's been 2 days now.
Yeah,
but we can at least take our time trying to find this place. And once we find it, we can hopefully teleport back to it. Well, I guess we said that we probably shouldn't teleport actually this close to the mountain, so maybe we do have just go for it.
Yeah,
without any respite.
Yeah, you may have to make your apologies to the keep, because once you find the secret entrance, finding it again is going to be, what a pain in the ass that's going to be.
Right.
Just finding its spot on the mountain has been difficult enough. Never mind actually finding the concealed entrance once you're in that meadow. I wish I could think of a way to get there safely, because you'd hate to teleport there, the teleport be detected, and then you bring the giants right to where the entrance is.
Secret entrance, yeah.
The going has been sufficiently tough that Sheer Call is going to go with nothing in her hands. She needs both hands to help climb and push brush back and that sort of thing. What would you like in your hands, if anything?
And I'll do the same. I've got my flail of fairness at my belt, and everything else will be, stored away.
Okay. Let Azrael, your cat familiar, do some hunting, and while you guys eat, and then or while you ladies eat, really, and then off you go.
I have a potion of shape-shifting.
Interesting.
1 pound, 150% of my mass. I could be a bird, and we could get our bearings again without casting any magic.
That's true.
So let's I bring that up with her, and I say, I'd like to save this for later, but so let's, if we find ourselves lost again, we can do this, and I can fly us over and see if I can spot how far we are from the landmark. It's funny, I didn't notice that before. That's when you just have so many magic items, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it is one. It's what's it called? An embarrassment of riches. That's what it's called.
Uh-huh.
In Karandrin, I kind of like it that way, but I know that it's another sort of note-taking hazard that Karandrin has. It is such a detailed game. You already have to do it just for your actions and keep track of contacts and things like that. That the magic items sort of add a layer of complexity to that.
Yeah.
So she nods. She's like, that's a good use of it if you don't feel like doing the spells on the animals. So you set out. She lets you lead the way.
Mm-hmm. Excuse me.
About an hour in, very difficult travel. You guys are going further south, in fact, to get around a ridge.
Mm. Yeah, I guess it wouldn't make sense to use the shape-shifting potion until we get to some easier terrain, right? Because even if we know where it is, we can't make progress in that direction if it's there.
At least going higher up the mountain would be nice, so that you can orient yourself from that new vantage point.
Mm.
Here it was, when you first controlled that falcon or hawk and asked, where, described the meadow you were looking for, it was looking up the mountain. It was, up and to the left. And now you've gone so far west that now it's probably up and to the right.
Yeah.
And so, but yeah, you guys are really having a hard time. As you guys top the ridge, you're sort of scrambling up, staying low, because it's just sort of the thin brush here. Shirkaw's clawed hand grabs you by the cloak and belt and pulls you back down the ridge. She signals for quiet. And points downslope, not very far at all. 75, 100 feet, something like that. Below and somewhat behind you, there is a goblin skeleton walking upslope toward you guys. Bowling ball sized stones orbit the skeleton. The eyes glow green. It has clearly seen you. Fortunately, the going is very tough between you and it. It is unarmed, unclothed. Not for the shape of the skull, you would have not known it's goblin.
Hmm. Damn, it's already seen us. Okay.
She crouches down below some brush and pulls you down with her.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, it's clearly seen us.
I say, have I heard of an undead like this? Stones circling around its head.
She calls it a Genru, and you nod. That brings back a memory from undead created by the collapse of a landslide, something like that, a cave-in.
Mm.
And they haunt mountains, hoping to bring others down in a similar way. They hurl those boulders with an effort of the mind or the spirit. And you can tell, I mean, those are bowling ball sized stones.
Yeah.
That is not going to be nice. Fortunately, you have cover, but unfortunately, if it fires, if it hurls one of those at you and misses, it's still enormously loud. I mean, it's going to echo. She tells you that she's shocked that it didn't just strike you in the back while you were on the ridge.
Yeah.
She was just lucky to have been looking behind you, checking if any giants were visible or anything like that, waiting for her chance to go up the ridge. When she spotted it, she rolled a double aught to spot the thing.
Glad she did. I don't know what I'm doing.
Well, it was to your back. I mean, you could.
Right. I wouldn't have even noticed it.
Yeah, you had your hands full climbing. No shade on you.
So I say, do you think we could, hide from it, evade it, or would it know where we are?
My understanding is they're not hard to hide from, but we are so close.
Mm-hmm. See any movement in the brush.
I can entangle its path more, but that's casting a spell.
I say if we split up and go in opposite directions, it has to follow one of us. The other could get the drop on it from behind. Maybe we could finish it off quickly before it can attack and make any racket.
Oh, I did not silence my phone. Forgive me, guys. That is a...
Oh my God, we need to start the whole thing over again.
Oh, I thought I had silenced it. That's why. Huh.
Suddenly a giant comes stomping into your room. What was that?
That's right. They caught me because I was using the Giants Wi-Fi, and that is no good.
Giants Wi-Fi.
So I've got 8 giant bars. If I'm looking at my phone correctly.
Yeah.
How much? Yeah.
It's at 5 million gigahertz. Is
That's right. Gigantohertz.
I can't terahertz.
She looks at you very worried, what you're learning to be the expression of worry on a lizard face. And she really doesn't want to split up.
She licks her eyes. Okay. Yeah, how to beat this thing without magic?
The thing is how to fight it without it attacking.
I know, yeah. I mean, the idea is I get close enough, so it can't, launch one of those boulders. Hopefully, I can see it before it launches it.
There are. She, peeks through. She luckily has a skin tone that really works well on the mountain and brush. Greenish gray, and so she peeks out and squats back down, and it's having a very hard time with brush, rock, and slope.
Mm-hmm.
It has actually moved further down the slope, trying to find a way to you guys.
I mean, perhaps we can outrun it. Well, if it's moving that slow, it's a shorter stature than us, right?
Yeah. Mid-morning. Tense note from Azriel. She's looking at her paws, and you concentrate, and she is feeling the stride of the giants on the mountain.
Hey, so I do have my hanging chimes, which I should have heard from 200 feet away. So.
My bad.
That's okay. I don't think it would have made that much of a difference because I just would have spotted him further away and we'd still
right.
be in the same situation, but I do have that. Okay, so Azriel notices the giants coming. I mean, if the giants come this way and see this thing, surely they'll just stomp on it. And
well, but I was thinking about that, and honestly, what harm is it going to do to them?
So they would ignore it, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, unless it becomes really pesky,
right.
then it's
basically throwing pebbles at them.
right. So Obi-Wan, it's not your fault. It's my fault I thought I'd silenced it using volume, but apparently that's not the case. So I don't understand my stupid phone and its notifications. So it used to make sense to me. And having things that are troublesome on the mountain for human-sized creatures
is that probably better? Yeah.
Right.
Keeps their territory safer.
But still, if it pulls the attraction of the goblin, of the undead to the giants, that's good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think we best just try to outrun it, and because if we stay here fighting and the giants appear, then I don't know if I told her yet, but yeah, I told my cat has felt the step of the giants. What is it? Last time it took them a couple hours to get here.
But you guys have spent time headed counter to their path. You know what I mean? So you should see them sooner now.
Right. A short while before we see them.
She says that leaves us getting over the ridge as quickly as possible before the giants or the creature can spot us,
Mhm.
and then continuing making our path to the west until we can find an easier way up.
Okay.
She says, if you want to go first, I can thicken the brush on the ridge using my druidic magic, and then you'll at least be screened from the goblin, if not from the giants.
Okay. Yeah, if it can lose sight of us and we can distance ourselves from it, we might be good.
She turns to the ridge, mutters a spell. What brush is there doubles in size and thickness.
Mhm.
It's a nice screen from downslope, definitely. Azrael gives alarm again.
Mhm.
As soon as that spell was cast, the giants stopped.
Oh my God. Yeah, so I tell her that, and I think we better run.
Run meaning what?
Meaning get away from this spot where the spell was cast as quickly as possible.
So the quickest way is to backtrack through stuff you've already been through. You sort of know the trail.
Mm-hmm.
But of course,
Toward the giant, that would be away from the giant.
away from the giant patrol
Right.
that's approaching, but it's past territory you already know.
Right.
So do you skitter over the ridge and then keep going to get away from this spot, or do you backtrack?
If we backtrack, have we tried going further east
No.
then? So that might be a better option.
So backtracking.
Yeah. So I tell her we should come back the way we came. We can cover that distance faster. We can try to come up on the eastward side. Hopefully the giants only find this creature, and maybe think it was the source of the magical disturbance.
She helps you, you're sort of up on the slope for a bit. She helps you slide down.
Mm-hmm.
She turns and starts just striding through brush and rubble as quickly as she can. Fortunately, there are no real bare spots nearby to leave you exposed to attack from the goblin creature. You guys are making good time. You're just hauling butt.
Yeah.
Azrael is running along with you. Another note of alarm. The tremors have resumed fiercely.
Hmm. As we're running, if there's time for conversation, I do want to ask what level she cast that spell at.
There's no real way for her to communicate that with you.
Okay. It's not like a spell list.
It is a list. So I guess she could say it's the fourth spell on her list.
Right. That's just good reference. I'm like, okay, so if I'm casting anything on the fourth or further, it has a chance of being detected.
Oh, well, that's one thought. And the other thought is bad luck, bad casting.
Right.
Also, you could have been getting closer to the castle and closer to
more sensitive.
Yeah. So there's a lot. I mean, there's a lot of factors, and to know which one.
Not just the raw power of it.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. How was your casting of that spell? How many power points did you put into it? And I have this huge equation with X, Y, Z unknowns.
That's right. Let me cast my Excel spell.
I'm drawing it in the dirt.
That's right. Eventually, I mean, even after an hour, you guys are just, I mean, you're just destroyed. I mean, you're just exhausted.
Right.
You guys are just laying among some open rubble, as far as you could go.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you really are almost on hands and knees at this point. You're that tired.
Is Azrael, if I tune into him, does he feel any more movement of the giants?
They're definitely, the tremors are definitely higher upslope now.
Okay. I'm going to relay that to Sheer Call.
She pulls herself behind a boulder and just lays down, hoping the boulder will hide her. She gestures to one near you. You know, she's breathing deeply.
Mm-hmm.
Covers herself with her cloak as best she can. Until her hands and your hands are torn and bleeding from crawling across rock, and some angry cats you got there.
The giants, they're trying to break their way in.
You guys keep a wary watch on the direction you've come. Roll for me.
54.
You remember tales of giants keeping in their households animals of equivalent size. Giant dogs, giant cats, giant birds. And, you know, it worries you that they could have something that might be able to track you on the mountainside.
Yeah.
You mention it to Sheer Call. She pants. You know, what's done is done.
Mm-hmm.
You're each at about 20 exhaustion.
20 out of 100?
Yeah.
Wow.
You're getting penalties. You know, I mean, obviously it's affected your performance.
Right.
You're just that fatigued. You've been resting for a few minutes. She says, let's try to make it to better cover. And then we may just have to see what comes our way. You can hear, she sort of gets up. She still sort of pulls her hood over. She just wants to be as hard to see as possible.
Mm-hmm.
She's using the rocks for support. You guys are trying to make it around this curvature of the mountain, and a little way downslope, there's a thick cluster of trees. You guys freeze for a moment. There's the sound of crashing in the distance behind you, but it sounds distinctly like it's going upslope.
Okay.
Trees are being bent back. Branches are being bent and broken. You guys make it down to a little copse of trees. The coolness of the shade feels good. It is thickly canopied. You guys feel a lot more hidden in here.
Maybe now we can take a little rest.
You guys sip water, talk in whispered tones. What else would you like to do?
Like during this resting period?
Yeah.
I don't know. I tell her if we try this again and we don't make any progress, we might just have to return with someone with better arts than us or better equipment to help us find this place, or at least to get there more swiftly. Because this creeping through this tangled brush and coming across dangerous creatures is just getting us nowhere.
She nods, sort of lost in thought. You guys are just sort of tense, listening. You're checking with Azrael. Minute after minute passes. Azrael has lost feel of their tremors.
Okay.
You guys can't hear. Do you want to risk any magic to increase your hearing or anything like that? Do you have any?
Yeah, I mean, actually, I have potions.
That's right.
Potions of the hare's ear. Hare's ear. Wait, do I?
I think so. I think
Yeah, many tongues and hare's ear. So
right.
I mean, might as well have one of those. I have 10 of them, so I'll definitely take one, and I'll give one to Sheer Call.
You intend for you both to drink at the same time?
No, I guess I just tell her, if you get separated, right, and drink this, and we could probably hear each other, just by calling out softly.
She nods, puts it in a herb pouch. Are you going to take yours?
Right, and I'll drink mine, and See what I can hear on the mountainside.
Footsteps, giant footsteps
Oh, wow.
coming down slope. They're still faint. It sounds like they are coming closer to you guys, but not very directly.
Mm-hmm.
There's conversation, two male voices,
Wow, okay.
but the wind is carrying a lot of their conversation away.
Okay.
They're speaking in a crude form of goblin. You catch the word search. You catch the word lady. Conversation gets clearer as they approach. Sounds like they will intercept the sort of ragged path you've taken across the mountain,
Right.
but further back than where you past an area you've already retraversed.
Right. So they won't cross our path, cross where we are.
Right. Now you see Sheer Call stand up and turn her head to the noise, so clearly it's now audible to her.
Right.
There's now clearly the moving and creaking of branches. Oh, excuse me. Oh, giant sneeze. Conversation is difficult to pick up. The branches and their own movements are so much louder than their words. But here's what you hear. Has a better chance of finding them than we do. She can cast a spell or two, surely. Save us all this tromping about. Who cares what little litlands are on the mountain? Let them come and have the mountain eat them. The other says, I wouldn't mind a bit of goblin flesh myself. Been a while. One gets tired of sheep. Barely a mouthful, says the other. What trouble they are is too much. You hit them too hard, they just splatter everywhere. Takes little folk to find little folk. She's got her goblin guards. Let them out. What's the point of paying them if all they're going to do is watch the mines? Send them out here crawling beneath tree and stone. Goblins are cunning. They'd find them. Well, just give it time, says the other one. ladyship felt sorcery, and she'll not have that on her mountain, not any besides her own. Closer now. It's hard to hear because they are so close now. You feel like if you peeked out of your little grove of trees, that you would at least see the trees in the distance moving.
Right.
Sheer Call is clearly terrified.
I'll try to give her a little, pat on the back, a little comfort. Say, they're not going to find us. Whisper.
So the giants argue more about, trying, the futility of them looking for
Right.
people your size. And, say again?
Racist.
Yeah. And sizest. They're sizest. And so
People are too hard to find.
that's right. Wear a bell. And they argue about, eventually, they have to do their job long enough where Lady Crom will get frustrated and then release some of the Goblin Guard to scour the mountain.
Right.
There's a discussion about if any of the Goblin Guard are decent trackers. And the other one says, how am I to know? They sound now to be level with your position on the mountain.
Mm-hmm. These are some chatty giants.
It's all security work. You got to pass the time somehow.
Right. Whenever I'm in an airport and I see TSA officers like joking with each other, talking to each other, I'm like, y'all should be having fun. Like, what do you mean?
Particularly given their
I'm miserable. You must also be.
That's right. Well, particularly given their failure rate, I don't know if you've read about the tests that they're put through.
Oh yeah, it's bogus.
Yeah, I mean, it's really, which is shocking that it's weird. I don't understand how they can fail so often. I mean, it's like I think they have a 99% failure rate against the team that tests them, or teams that test them. But yet we don't have any air accidents. We don't have any air terrorism.
Right.
That's very strange.
I don't know if it's just a strong enough deterrent.
Yeah.
Despite those findings.
Yeah.
That, what if you're that 1%? Right.
Yeah. They go down below you somewhat. And they're still complaining about the job and so on.
They should stop screening, for like weapons or metal or anything, and just like, hey, do you seem like a chill person? Are you gonna like annoy people on the plane? you can't fly.
That's right. That's
right. You get the terrorists too, right? Really.
So now and after like a few years of that, that the people you suspect of terrorism are the really nice ones, right? Because the terrorists have had to self-screen to make sure they get pleasant people who will be allowed on the plane.
Right. You seem a little too nice. Is that a gift basket you're giving me?
A ticking gift basket. So there is a passing reference to that meeting with the other blokes.
Okay.
And wondering if their lord, and that's a note, right? A male leader,
Mm.
has his men stomping up and down their mountain. They cut back upslope. They are definitely approaching. These trees are very close grown. It is possible they'll go through it, but
Oh my God.
it's also possible that they'll go around it as there's an easier path. Azrael is very panicked also.
Ay.
Hare's ear expires. You've been listening now for
Okay.
more than an hour as they've worked their way down
Yeah.
several hundred yards and are working their way back up at an angle.
So I kind of look at your call and say they're coming this way. You know, if they pass through these trees, we'll need to be hidden better than we are now.
There's only that rock field on the other side. I couldn't see beyond this crop of trees. She works her way through. Comes back a short while later. She's like, it's almost impassable, just a short way beyond these trees.
Mm-hmm.
She says, God's help us, we could go south toward them. But the outcropping that blocks us might deflect them. I don't know.
I say we just stay put then. We know we're hidden here. You know, if we lose our cover gambling for something better, that could be our downfall.
Their voices are plainly, audibly noticeable now.
Oh my God. How did we muck this up so bad?
Well, I mean, it's
Worst combination of factors.
it's a tough assignment. It's a
Yeah.
tough assignment.
Yeah.
It's clear that Sheer Call doesn't know enough Goblin to make out their crude version of it.
Mm-hmm.
The Goblins are talking about sort of internal, not exactly gossip, but talking about one of the other giants getting drunk, and then the jokes that were played on him.
Man, what do giants drink to get drunk? Fermented trees?
Fermented trees.
Jesus. I'll take every bottle you have.
Exactly.
That'll give me a buzz.
That's right. I mean, it is so loud. Their voices are just below you.
Mm-hmm.
They are moving slightly as you're facing downslope, slightly to the left. They're moving up. You hear rocks clattering. And I mean, rocks the size of your head.
Yeah.
some of the trees at the edge of the grove that you can barely see are bent. You can see fingers around some of the trunks as they're pushed back. You guys just cower up behind trees, and make yourselves as small as possible. You're really having a hard time keeping Azrael from just running.
Yeah. Just pray to Oxir. Or maybe not Oxir. God of War. Who's the god of stealth?
God of shut the hell up.
God of silence.
Yeah. They do pass to your left.
Okay.
Part of the outcropping of rock that blocks Shirkal's path. You hear it come crumbling down, parts of it. You see stones bouncing between the tree trunks.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, just to be near them is dangerous,
Mm-hmm.
Up they pass. They're now up on around the level where you guys had previously been. They're moving further away and further up.
Okay.
And continuing talking about various drunken hijinks.
Mm-hmm.
The one giant wonders if Dursai's men are also so well rewarded as Lady Crom's. The context sounds like that is the leader of the giant clan that they met with.
Can you say that name again?
Dursai, Dursai.
Dursai. Okay. I'm about to go skin that cat of mine. I thought she'd calm down after 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Figure out something for next time.
They keep moving up slope.
Mm-hmm.
The conversation gets lost to you. Shirkal says, "Should I take the potion?"
Sure.
Although she doesn't know Goblin, so she couldn't
Oh,
report
right.
on
She would also need
conversation.
the potion of tongues. So I say I'll take another because they are speaking Goblin, which I can understand. So I'll number. I wonder how much calories are in this thing.
Exactly.
Do not take more than 2 a day.
That's right. There's like all the nutrient values down the little vial and everything.
It's known to the state of California to cause burns effects.
That's right.
Known to the state of Nargas.
So how about we pause before you take the potion?
Okay.
And we'll go, gang, we'll go refill our drinks and stretch our legs. And we'll just take a little break. And we'll be right back with you. And we're going to go tame some cats as well
Go feed some cats until
yeah.
they're in a coma.
So gang, just hang with us for a few moments. We'll be right back with you. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. Let's get Max back on here. There he is. I told you he would love us. He wouldn't just leave us hanging, although he is a heavy drinker. And if I can get him to spit up on
Heavy drinker. That's good. Woo.
Me and my buddy also named Kevin. We would have this thing. Man, this is 35 years ago, where we would try to make each other spit up while drinking. And he got me one time. He was visiting me at my childhood home, and I was drinking some milk, and he just puts his face right up against me and goes, and I had milk come out of my nose. I was laughing so hard. But God. Yeah, we had a good time doing that. So welcome back, everybody. We are on the mountainside and about to take a potion of hare's ears to continue listening to the giants that are scouring the mountain, trying to find Brise and her companion, the female lizard folk Sheercall, who is also a druid of some skill. And so you take the next potion.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are at 50 exhaustion.
Okay.
Still quite tired. They must be passing through a clearer area where there are fewer trees, because their conversation is still very clear with the hare's ears potion.
Mm-hmm.
And there's less interference from brush and trees being pushed aside by their massive forms. They're talking about marriage and family inside of the clan. They're talking about how it will be good to intermarry with another clan. Right now, there are 2 giant infants on the way. So there's 2 pregnancies in their clan.
Mm. Oh my God! If you're here, a giant giving birth,
yeah,
like miles away.
yeah. Fortunately, it's a 50-year wow, what is it called? Pregnancy.
Gestation period.
Gestation. That's the word I was looking for. So
I'm in my 80th trimester.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
I
can't drink for the next 40 years. Sorry.
I can't drink for the next 40 years. That's funny. It's the same as me with my stupid liver. It's clear that one of the reasons for the meeting with Dersai's people is intermarriage.
Okay.
The question becomes, do you guys start following the giants? I mean, Azrael is stressed to pieces. Sheercall is stressed to pieces.
You're
not too happy yourself. Yeah. But you are getting some information.
Right.
But if they continue their zigzag path away from you, it's not going to be too long before they're out of hearing range.
Right.
But by the same token, you guys may have already had such a harrowing morning I mean, that is stress.
Yeah, I mean, they've already. Brise, I feel like she's dealt with a lot, right? And she would be, game to at least follow them from a distance, hear their conversation, right? They're not going to tread this same path again, theoretically. They've already
Right.
patrolled it, so we should be safe. So I tell that to Sheer Call and ask her if she's willing to follow them to get higher up the mountain and to gain more information from overhearing the conversation.
We've had no luck finding a way up the mountain, and we're far from our starting point. I don't know that we'll make higher up on the mountain, but
Was that not the direction they're going in?
they are going along your old path, but you're not at the end of that path. Do you see what I mean? Your starting point at being where you spoke to the falcon or hawk, right?
Right.
You're not to that point yet.
No, I understand. Yeah.
Okay. So
I think we follow them up the mountain and then regain our bearings, either with another spell or shapeshifting, to then try to find from overhead this clearing again.
I see. But you don't mean, you mean follow them up the mountain. You mean just go up the mountain, really?
Right. Just to get higher up, because that's what we're having difficulty doing. Right.
Right.
And here they are, at least making a better path for us to go up.
Yeah. If they've trod down some vegetation, if they've knocked down a tree that crosses that escarpment, you could climb up the tree and then keep going. For the first time really in your adventuring, you are a little worried about water. You guys have had such a hard day.
Yeah.
You've already gone through about half your water.
I have another water skin. So I got one water skin. I have 2 water skins.
Okay, well then
one in my bag of holding.
Then so you should be good. Yeah.
Right. So once this one's empty, I can break that one out.
Azrael is another problem. He is very tense.
Mm-hmm.
So you may just have to perch him on your shoulder so he can't feel the tremors.
Right. Try to spend some time calming him down. Okay. You like the catnip? Here you go. Okay, some of that. That'll get him really calm.
That's right.
God, they're so funny. If you've ever seen them, where they just start drooling and like, oh
yeah,
just completely like zonk out.
I was on Reddit. I was reading stories about. It was some poster had said they had a friend who had given their dog edibles to calm them. But the thing is, you have to be crazy careful because CBD is successful and safe for calming dogs, but THC is poisonous to dogs.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Ooh. So you've really got to go heavy on the CBD route and no THC.
Right. I wouldn't want my dog getting high on THC anyway.
Sure.
They were.
But there was a story about someone had dropped a marijuana brownie.
Oh, sure, yeah.
And their new puppy ran up and began eating it.
Yeah.
And they were really worried about it, or the poster was worried about it. The owner of the puppy just sort of didn't know, and so wasn't concerned. And a lot of the responses were, that could have gone very badly. That could have just straight out killed that dog.
Yeah.
And I've
THC.
Yeah. So, crazy. But There's our medical tip from Karandrin this week is don't give your dogs edibles unless it's
Don't pass your joint to your dog.
that's right. So, all right, out you guys go.
So I mean, she's okay with that. I forgot. I'm sorry. I kind of
Yes, no, she's fine. She's clearly wary.
Right.
The giants rattle her a lot, more than they're rattling you. You can tell that. I mean, she's facing real fear.
Mm-hmm.
And um, so you guys take the old zigzag path as best you can. Um, close enough to where um, where you've been crossing east to west across the mountain's face. Um, the giants are briefly visible here and there in the distance. You can see a shoulder or a head glimpse out among treetops. You definitely find where they crossed. No help going up that way. You're now able to hear their conversation.
Mm-hmm.
A little difficult with the distance, and they're in thick foliage again. They are talking about Dersai. Instead of a castle, he sort of has a compound, several valleys to the east. Compound consists of a great wall surrounding several mansions. Supposed to be a larger clan than Lady Crom's.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the younger giants have to sleep out in the open. As mansions have not yet been built for all of the giants.
Right.
Doesn't seem like a inconvenience the way the giants are talking about it. It's just, you're young. You
Right.
don't have a place yet. Sleeping outside doesn't seem to be a trouble for them.
Where they use as mansions. That's interesting.
Up in the sky, there's no question, that is one of the great eagles. Definitely scouting this valley, but definitely has a sense as it comes close to this mountain that it turns aside. There's a sense that it's avoiding this mountain.
Right.
The giants are headed back down. You guys are been doing this for most of an hour.
Yeah.
It really is wearing you out.
My potion still
going.
okay.
They talk of a female giant of Dursai's tribe known to be a great hunter. And that she remains single and would be sort of quite the catch. The name is Shinnon, Shinnon.
I'd like to be her prey. Know what I'm saying?
That's right. There's the adventurer you should ask to join you in the catacombs. Just, take care on any threat.
Yeah. How do you feel about small spaces?
I feel like I make them bigger. That's I uproot them and shake them empty, then squish what comes out. As they're coming down, you signal it's time to look for cover. Not this path isn't fairly good with cover.
Mm-hmm.
They've outdistanced you even going, up and down.
Right.
There's no good cover that sort of protects you from all sides. So you guys just sort of flatten yourself against the slope.
Mm-hmm.
They again cross your old path far up ahead.
Mm.
And you hear one of the giants say, "Look here, Gobby. Someone has been on the mountain."
Mm.
Gobby responds, "True enough. That's a Litland's cut of that brush there."
Mm.
How long you think? As in, how long has it been?
Right.
I don't know. Around that time, your hare's ear cuts out.
Okay.
Update, Shirkal.
Yeah. I'll whisper to her, mostly just that they've spotted our old trail. They definitely know we've been here on the mountain.
Have we worn out our welcome? Is it time to flee?
I think so. I mean, they spoke of goblin guards. Surely they'll be sent out soon, and we'll have an even tougher time avoiding them.
Should we leave on foot? Should we fly?
I say, let's get some distance from these fellows, and I think we can teleport out of here. Should be okay. I say I can teleport us to Balabry, a town nearby.
She nods. Both your stomachs growl.
Mm-hmm.
Head back along your old path. Try to head south. What's your feeling?
Yeah, probably just back along the path. We know it, so. And I'll have one more potion of giants or of hare's ear. Just see what else I can pick up. Might as well.
Take it. They seem to be in the same spot.
Mm-hmm.
Catch the end of a sentence. Something to report. At least we can tell her where to use her magics. Do you imagine if she caught herself some pretty new pets to play with? She likes him in the cage, doesn't she? Pretty little birdies.
Never mind. I don't want to take the potion.
This is gotta get graphic.
Close my ears.
That's right. Do you hear, Gobby? Do you hear na 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 na? You guys move down the path. Hunger is weighing on you. It's early afternoon now. The giants have moved further away, further back down, along, heading east along your old path.
Okay.
So further to the opposite direction of you. There's that at least. They fall out of earshot, even with the hare's ear.
Mm-hmm. So I tell Sheercall, I think we're far enough away. Why don't we take a rest, have some food, and then you can teleport us?
Who's teleporting?
I can teleport you to. I'm going to teleport us to outside the keep, above Balabry.
You don't know that she'll be welcome there.
Well, right. That's why I'd be outside the town, right? It should be like distance enough from the keep, distance from the town, right? Yeah.
I don't know if there's a spot in Balabry you wanted to teleport to.
I don't think I even have a spot memorized in Balabry.
What about the Venturing Guild?
They don't have teleport spots, but
okay.
I could probably remember the front of the building. It just would be in the street, right?
Yeah, all you need is a clear memory that just pops in your head that you can latch onto.
It's just not one of the 7 I've like kind of listed.
Right, really dedicated to. You sort of spend time on each night to refresh your memory. So erase a meal. Of course, you guys eat it cold, but it's still.
I was about to roll my dice. How good was the meal? 81.
That's right. For you, it's a -25. Remember, you don't care anything about food.
Right. Or doesn't actually add to it? Where I'm like, it's fine. Everything's good to me.
Oh, that's well, right. It's it probably should be plus or minus, right?
Yeah. If it's above 50, I get minus. If it's below 50, I get plus.
Right.
The taste is average.
Right.
That's a funny idea, right? Instead of being a static bonus or debuff,
it's
averages towards something.
We have you roll 10d10, and
Um,
trying to give you you'd have you roll 10d6 and just give you just a huge bell curve, you know.
yeah, if Karandrin's always, it's always just D100, except for when you're enjoying a meal, you need to have a D20, two D12,
That's right.
3 coins.
It's a multi-course. It's a multi-course roll for a multi-course meal.
Right. Bring out the math equation from,
That's right.
to calculate how good the meal was.
What I just realized is I did not set up my webcam. I'm running off of the laptop's cam.
Really?
Yeah. It's crazy.
I was going to say, I mean, you've been frozen the whole time. I probably should have mentioned something.
Like poor Azrael and Sheercall, frozen the whole time, just terrified out of their mind.
No, I didn't know. I'll have to compare it to a previous video.
It'd be interesting. Yeah, I think this is equivalent in quality. The camera quality is. Obi-Wan didn't say I looked too yellow when I went and said hi to her during the break. All right, so you guys rest for a while. You eat some food. You're at 80 exhaustion.
Okay.
Been resting for about an hour, so we're at about mid-afternoon now. There's been no sign from the giants. Time to concentrate and cast.
So I tell her, I'll take us to outside the town. I don't know if there's anything you want to do, prepare to,
Do you want to roll first to see if there's a spot in Battleby that is clear enough just in your mind?
Well, I'd rather be outside the town anyway.
Okay.
Just in
all right.
If she's not well, I don't know how people treat Sith. Do I know how people treat Sith in Battleby?
No, you've just not really seen. But she's working for a goblin family, so there must be some tolerance, but it could vary.
Okay.
There could be a lot of racism.
Well, I'll ask her. I'm like, have you been around goblin towns? Have they, would we risk teleporting into the town, or would you rather be at the edge?
Reactions to me have been mixed, but I have met pleasant enough goblins. Whatever you think is best.
Really? What goblins are those?
Nah. Introduce me to those.
Sorry, what was she
so
saying?
Whatever you think is best is her.
Okay, we'll teleport right into town then. If I can remember.
Roll it up.
The Adventuring Guild. Or just at a spot. 23.
No, not a spot you feel comfortable enough you could make it.
Okay. I'll say, Brian, my most reliable spot is outside of town anyway, so we'll just go there and work our way into town. But ask her if there's any preparation she wants to do before. She wants to memorize the spot here, if she wants to risk a teleport, or if I don't even know how she got here in the first place.
Yeah. She tells you, it was all trekking on the mountain and so on.
Yeah.
From a distance from the valley, she chose landmarks and used those to guide her. So she was at least high enough up on the mountain she could begin her search.
Right.
She still knows those locations and could teleport to them, she believes, from sight, certainly a sight, teleport by sight. Though she's not yet tried it. She hiked. In terms of prep for the teleport herself, she does pull her hood down, puts her weapons away, makes sure that her cloak covers her short sword that she uses, puts the composite bow, sort of more firmly across her shoulders, where it's like, I'm not here to do trouble.
Yeah. To draw.
So, and she's like, I'm ready.
Okay. So I'll take my time, concentrate on the spell.
Yeah.
And then do the teleport with my channeling boots. So that is a 77 to cast.
Stop her right there.
And that was a great stream, everybody. We'll be rolling up a new character next week. Brise is captured.
There is a flash. Feels like you've hit a wall and are thrown back. There's a feeling of brush and trees against your face and back. You see one of Sheerclaw's claws come across your chest as though she's been knocked back.
Mm-hmm.
Roll for me.
35.
You've lost your 10 exhaustion. You've lost your 10 power points.
Mm-hmm.
You've lost 40 exhaustion. There's no doubt to you that there's now a dimensional ban across the mountain. There's no way, well, only with enormous difficulty can you teleport out.
Right. So as soon as I can gain my bearings and help Sheerclaw up, I'll tell her that. There's no way we're teleporting out of here.
She's doubled over, catching her breath.
Man, a dimensional ban on the whole mountain.
At least this part of it.
Wow. She really is powerful.
Panting, she says, "We have to hide."
God, dude. I mean, how far are we from getting off the mountain?
How do you mean?
Like if we were to
Oh, I see. On foot?
Get on foot out of the dimensional ban.
I mean, a couple of days, easy.
Yeah. Ugh.
The ground is trembling from both directions. You don't need Azrael to feel it in your boots.
I tell Sheerclaw we gotta go, and we're gonna have to just start taking off, hopefully in the direction where the rumbling's not coming from.
Let's go down slope then.
Okay.
She pauses, puts a claw on you. Unless you want to risk magic to go up slope. They already know we're here. They've already detected our magic.
Right.
What is one spell, more or less, if we can get over this escarpment? But I know that's dangerous. Maybe even foolish.
Once we get over the escarpment, do you think we'll be better hidden? My concern is then we're deeper into her territory.
Sure. She looks up the escarpment. She grabs you, realization on her face. Shape-shifting. Could you become a ladder? I've never done the potion. And maybe we could climb. I could climb up you and then pull you up.
Well, that's exotic. Let me read the description of the potion.
I should find it as well.
Transform into one non-magical creature.
Creature.
So probably not. Unless, is there a ladder mimic?
There are not mimics that you know of.
I know, yeah.
What is shapeshifting?
I'm surprised I've been playing Karandrin for this long and haven't run into a mimic yet. Or any variant thereof.
Right.
Such a fantasy staple at this point.
What about then?
So, but she wants to still go further upslope.
It was an idea that would get her upslope.
Right.
That could be quickly done and not use magic.
Right, but then once we're upslope, is the plan still to escape the mountain?
No, be to hide. Let things die down and continue the search.
Try again. Okay. Because I think it's time to give up on the search. Because at this point,
too dangerous.
She's not even going to stop any patrols. I tell Shirkal if Crom can summon a dimensional ban against a teleport, who knows what her arts are at. She could detect what's on this mountain, once she knows roughly where we are. I think it's too risky to continue the search at all.
My understanding is that a giant's magic has much greater range than ours. It's a factor of our body size. And if she is powerful and a giant, then perhaps she would have the range. But you're right. It's all extremely dangerous. I'll do whatever you think is best. She really does defer to you.
Right. And I put a hand on her shoulder. I'm like, I know how much you've struggled to, to free these slaves. But if they, if we mess up now, then they'll never be freed. We might have to come back another day. Now that we really know what we're up against.
Downslope it is then.
Okay. Now, do I want to use magic to get down slope? So I do have my potion of flying that I have.
But she doesn't have that.
Well, right. Now, I'm assuming I can't carry her, right? She's about as heavy as I am. And I also have to carry Azrael.
Right.
Or if I cast, I think we talked about this before. I don't know how viable it is, but if I cast levitation on her and then I drink the potion of flying, I could tug her behind me.
You don't know of a reason that shouldn't work.
Okay. Then at least we can get off this mountain. So that's my suggestion to her. It's going to be a few days going down slope to get off of this mountain, but if I do XYZ.
Are you not worried about being spotted by the giants over the treetops?
Yes.
But maybe unavoidable?
Right, but hopefully we outdistance them and then teleport once we're out of their range. I mean, I guess even flying a giant running could probably keep up with me.
A giant throwing certainly can.
Yeah. Evasive maneuvers.
I know, right? Hauling someone behind you.
Two barrel roll.
Barrel roll.
Oh my God.
Top Gun, Karandrin style. Welcome to, yeah, there's really, certainly you'll make good time, but do you put yourself in greater danger?
Right. Versus just going down slope the slow way.
Looking down slope, let's give you all the information.
Mm-hmm.
Good coverage. You find yourself at a point where on foot does make sense right now.
Okay.
It won't be as fast as the flying. Flying speed is basically as
150 feet around.
yeah, which is it's a really good run. It's a hard run.
Not like an airplane, like flying.
No, it's not hundreds of miles an hour.
Right.
The potion lasts several minutes. I mean, good cover and a decent enough slope for a good bit of it. Foot may make more sense, especially to stay hidden from the giants.
Right.
To get some distance so that if you do take flight, you're harder to see because of distance.
True.
On foot?
Okay. Yeah. So I agree with your call. We can go on foot. God, I'm at 40 exhaustion though. I got to be careful.
It's gonna be rough. I mean, mountains are no joke. Off you guys go.
Yeah, maybe I should pick an easier biome to adventure. I've been adventuring in mountains for a long time.
It's been a long time. Yeah, I mean, you've spent some time lost on a mountain.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's go to some plains. Wide open.
Cities only. You just become the most urban adventurer.
Urban adventuring. I like that.
This is not what urban fantasy means. You guys are climbing as fast as you can. Giants are closing in on your old location.
Mm-hmm.
Roll for me.
28.
Okay. Do not forget your miracle roll.
Oh. Yeah. Okay. I mean, I already did. I could have come in handy earlier. That's okay.
Well, I mean, you can run, find distance, and then, try to use it to break the dimensional band or, I mean, whatever. I mean, there are opportunities.
Yeah. Yeah.
You guys are going at a good pace. No mishaps. Stop to take a break. The tremors have stopped. You kind of want to put Azrael on the ground to see if she can detect them, but that's up to you.
How does Azrael seem?
Well, she's on your shoulder this whole time.
Right, but seem just as skittish as before, or maybe
calmer.
Okay.
You know, a little tense because you've been running with her on your, not running, but clambering down slope.
So I'll lift him down on the ground, and give us a feel there, Azrael.
Multiple tremors, upslope.
Mm-hmm.
Approaching slowly.
Okay.
You know, the thing is, the giants, you know, they hardly need to rest, and you guys, they're really running you ragged.
I know. God, chasing up and down the mountain.
You're both at 20 exhaustion. Do we stop here for the night? Do you want to go a little further?
I mean, I guess what is our next plan, right? Do we just keep going till it feels like we're off the mountain?
Yeah, where is this invisible boundary?
Right. Use detect magic.
Yeah. It's true. What level do you have that at? Is it low enough level not to be detected?
I think it's level 4, right? No, it's level 6. Okay. Your radius of level 14, right? So 20. Oh, 25. So it'd be 50-foot diameter. I mean, I guess dimensional band would be over an area, right? So it should intersect with that.
Right. Unless you cast some sort of concealment, yeah, you should be able to detect it. I mean, if you're in the radius of a magical effect, it would detect magic.
Right.
If it's an excellent casting, you may get information on the magic.
Right. But me being at 20 exhaustion, I don't trust myself to do an excellent casting. I don't even trust the results that I get from that spell.
Sure. I do like exhaustion playing a factor.
Yeah.
I really do like it. And
so tense, because we could also camp out here, take a rest, regain some exhaustion, but then we're at risk.
You're stationary, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe we'll end it here, and then we can
use some time to mull things over.
Yeah. Oh, this has just been a huge stalemate. This whole so interesting, the back and forth, and
make some headway. You did gain some information.
Yeah, a lot of information. I mean, we know that the spot does exist on the mountain also if we wanted to come back.
Right.
And I probably know enough at least to tell Athene something useful. So yeah, we can call it there and pick up next time.
Well, that was
what's the time of day? It's late afternoon.
Late afternoon. So 3-ish probably. Got a couple hours before sundown. Then that really does suck because the goblins can keep scouring the mountain.
Right. It might be a plan to send them out at night and
pin you in. God help you trying to make your way down the mountain at dark, exhausted.
Yeah. Break my ankle.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
Quinn has some information for us. Is it the weakness of the giants?
I assume that Quinn's going to tell us more about the Oldsmobile Cutlass. That's
I hope so. That would be the only reason to keep this stream going.
That's right. Quinn, what's the information? And
I was going to joke that the weakness of the giants is just an enormous hammer. You have a hammer twice the size of a giant. Well, there you go.
That's right. That's right. That's everybody's weakness. A hammer twice the size of the individual is everybody's weakness.
Surprisingly effective.
It's surprisingly effective. A lion twice your size is your weakness. So, Quinn, we're not going to leave till you give us the info.
Yeah.
Oh my God! And from here on out, we're going to call it Quinfo. If you give us the Quinformation,
the Quinformation, and record in Quinnipedia.
In Quinnipedia. But Quinn, while you gather your thoughts, so it's a tight bind you're in. Yeah, it's one of these things where you Quinformation, he likes it. Oh, something about a sick duck. What's the difference between you and a mallard with a cold? One's a sick duck, and the other, well, I forget the rest, but your mother's a whore. That was from Celebrity Jeopardy on SNL. Yeah. So great. All righty. Well, something about a sick duck. Something sick duck. So, all right, guys. Well, that is 166 in the bag. Pretty tense one throughout. I really enjoy those that just have a nice tension going. If you
really get my gray hairs all.
yeah, that's what the Karandrin does do. Is it will put wrinkles on you. So thanks for watching, everybody. We really do appreciate it. If you think we're doing a good job, please like and subscribe. And if you think you're doing a great job, send us some love through donorbox.org. You see the link right there. Max has his own YouTube channel that he really does a good job with, and where he discusses the role of music and original soundtracks in video games. So go check that out. You see your short link right there available. Thanks as always to Elliot Donovitz for their terrific character art that we use almost every session, the character art for Brise. If you'll see more of their artwork, please go to artstation.com/Tortolua. I've written a novel called A Shore Too Far, my only tribute to the arts, and you can find it on Amazon in paperback and Kindle. So thanks, everybody. Max, why don't you say goodbye to these lovely people?
Yeah, thanks for showing up, even if for a brief time.
That's right.
And we'll see you next week, next Wednesday, to resume the adventure. So have a good night, everybody.
Good night.